start off with the bride maybe announcing who her bride squad is, coming up with this little gift packages to, these days there's so many different ways to do that.
Yeah.
And then following the announcement, once the bride has kind of told her squad, I really want you to be my bridesmaids. And again, like Stacey said, LMP steps into that. And we also have another company called Custom Made that likes to do those little trinkets, but we can talk about that later. Yeah. Then there's the bachelorette, right? And just creating that environment and that event where the bridesmaids and the bride can bond, and especially the bridesmaids with each other, because sometimes not everyone knows each other. So that's really the next thing on the calendar.
I think also because there's so much planning and seriousness that goes into the time prior to the wedding. The bachelorette kind of gives the bride and her squad a time to relax. And bond and, a break from all the serious, the seriousness and planning.
However, when deciding on the bachelorette, you've also got to be conscious of when the date of the wedding is. You do not want to be coming back looking haggard. So, you kind of decide. Some brides want to go hard on the bachelorette, some want a little spa day, but you need to think a week to the wedding, you're not coming back looking like the trip you just went on.
I think for me, the reason why I'm asking this is because due to my experience never being at a wedding, I wonder what these things look like. Like, I wonder what a bachelorette party looks like. Is it like what we see in the movies? Is it minimalist down? How can we make it more special for the bride as the bride squad? Would you care to explain on that?
Yeah, for sure. I think, it's changed and it's grown. Initially, what you'd see is maybe a party or a dinner or two here. But now everyone's actually getting more and more into going on holidays and trips for the bachelorette. So you see different things. It doesn't have to be a trip abroad per se, or it could be a weekend getaway with the squad. And that's where, so I know we talk about custom made. So what custom made does, we create unique trinkets and things, so ranging from swimsuits, or those big beach hats with everyone's name, something sort of custom that's like a unifying gift for your squad to take away. And so we've seen a number of things happen, and as the market grows here, there's those big bachelorette parties, and then there's intimate weekends away. But yeah, I think we're getting more and more seeing what we've seen in the West. It's translating here as well.
Yeah. And I think even now would be an opportune time to just highlight the difference between a hen party and a bridal shower, because those are also in the build up to the wedding day and part of the events calendar for the bridal squad and the bride. And for us, we think like the hen party is really more your R-rated party for the girls only, and some of the friends who might not have made it to the weekend away. Whereas your bridal shower is really a time for family, aunts and mothers to kind of be a part of the celebration and give their advice. And so we like to make that distinction so that we're not inviting any mothers to the hen party and having
awkward
moments.
I mean, that's really cool. You spoke about trinkets. And the question is, what trinkets cannot be left out on the list?
Okay. So I think it's just important to have one item that unifies the squad. So people like to do different things. You can have like a hat. There's beach hats, depending on where you're going for the bachelorette. You can have those little robes with your name on the back
for the morning
of, with little cute sandals. There's so many different things that you can bring together just to show that this is the squad, this is the tribe,
and it's a memento.
Yes,
it's a memento to take away. But then also the jewelry for the wedding day, making sure you're all on the same page as your bride. You'd have decided before what your accessories are, your shoes, your hairpiece, if there is one, your jewelry.
Nail polish.
Exactly. And a maid of honor usually has a bag. You have to make sure it's in theme and it's what your bride wants.
Yes. And also we should talk about the maid of honor's handbag. You should carry like a hanky, some tissue, because it's a very emotional day. Bride might be, a bit anxious. There'll be a bit of sweating, maybe a touch up of the lipstick, same shade that they're wearing. I would say also maybe some eye whitener is important because, the bride will be crying a lot. So that's something we shouldn't, forget about.
And if we're since we're in East Africa, a fan never hurts. It's hot these days. So you've got a fan, carry a fan. Carry a fan for your bride. She'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
Are you serious? That hot?
Hand fans that are electric and they're quite handy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I just want to go back to the trinkets because I feel like that's really important. As an establishment, you're a business, obviously. You have seen a predominant trend, or perhaps you haven't. What is the one trinket that has been a trend that everybody wants? We always want this. What's that one thing that stands out?
The robes. Yeah, the robes.
Everybody wants the robes. It's that picture. It's almost like you have to have that picture or the wedding didn't happen, where the whole squad is in their robes.
Exactly. At the balcony in the morning, there's always that shot,
I woke up like this.
Yeah.
And I think for me, the one thing I'd like to get is just a highlight moment in which you saw the bride squad happy with the bride. Can you just share that experience before we dip into other questions?
Sorry, you said which we saw the bride squad
happy. The happiest, like one moment, a memorable moment in which the bride squad were wearing their trinkets, feeling good, taking pictures, and you guys were just extremely happy in what you saw.
Okay, so I think there's a couple of moments during the planning where the bride and her squad have like that intimate moment. One would be maybe at the bridal shower where everyone's going around saying something, giving their advice. I think that's when it comes to life. It hits you at that moment that your friend is getting married, and then and I think another moment
the morning of
yes.
We've seen this and a couple of times now, and it's always really beautiful. Praying with the bride right before she goes out, when everyone sort of surrounds her. I think that's just like a really beautiful, powerful moment, and it's the best way to send your bride off into her new life.
Oh, cute. Can't wait to get married. So, a lot about the bride squad making the bride feel important. How can the bride make the bride squad feel important? How can she highlight the event, make it momentous for them, apart from the fact that she is getting married?
Yeah. I think it's important for, first of all, for the bride to just continually involve the bride squad throughout the planning, so they feel like they're a part of the function from start to end. And that usually helps to like start a group and just share ideas, make them part of the decision making process, because in our own friend circle, we're quite different. We have different styles and stuff. So it's good to kind of include them in the planning so you get their tastes embedded in the function. And
I think also when you're asking your bride squad to be your bride squad, will you be my bridesmaid? You can make that special. There's different ways to do that. You can send like a little box with, like a little card that just says, will you be my bridesmaid? Maybe with a photo of the two of you.
And also, I think another way is to remember, if some of your squad don't know each other, especially those who've traveled a long way, making them feel included, especially if you've got a traditional wedding, which here we do, and they may not understand the culture. I think, it's important to include them, making sure to explain things. That's the way a bride can not sort of neglect, especially those people who've traveled a long distance.
Yes, and also planning for maybe things like their transportation, maybe delegate, because you have a whole team. So someone should be handling the guests who, are flying in, because they won't know where to go, how to move from point A to point B. So it's just maybe making everyone feel included and planning for them.
And you can handle that, right? Little Miss Planner.
Yes.
Hallelujah, Jesus. Okay. That's all I needed to know, because I'm thinking to myself, as a bride, already I'm stressed about 100 things. You know what I mean? Now, making sure that one person who's traveling from point X to come here and feel, I don't know if that would be my forward thought, even though I would intend that everybody feels important to love. That being said, what are some of the trends that you have seen during the planning process from the beginning, where I don't know what I want to do, to the point where I say I do? What are some of the trends that you picked up?
I think we've seen a lot of imitation, and not in a terrible way. I think there's things that trend and everyone wants to do them, because also weddings happen day after day. It's literally a wedding every weekend here. And so I think people tend to get on one trend and get focused on it. And so when they come in, per se, they'll say, oh, I've got a wedding for 500 people, and you kind of know, I want chandeliers, I want this, and it comes in. However, what we are trying to do and sort of sensitize the market to is to, one, get an event coordinator, as you just said, someone who's going to take this on, and you're not now dealing with 10 different vendors, because that's what tends to happen. Someone will be like, I've picked my decorator, now I need to pick the tent guy, now I need to pick the sound guy. So I think that's what we've seen a lot of the trends of, okay, I'm picking the big names. I saw flowers from this person and I saw a decorator. And so we're picking these names and we're just going to ask them to do it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't come out so cohesively. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think another big trend, especially here in Uganda, is the announcement of the Bride Squad. So we have some over-the-top announcements, which is okay if it's your taste, but there's a reveal for everything now, right? Gender reveal, Bride Squad reveal. It's like, okay, do what you gotta do.
We're here to help you through which way you decide to go.
I think in terms of the trend specifically with the traditional weddings, I'm curious about that. I'm half Ugandan, by the way. Do I know much about that? No, but it's all good in the wood. I want to know, what are some of the trends that we can find within the traditional wedding style? Like, what is something that you picked up? I know that you did say that if something trends, people pick it up and that's what they fly with. What are some of those things that they're flying with at this very point?
At this point, so depending on your culture, there's things that are unique to each culture. So if you go west, you'll see a lot of it's cattle farmers, a lot of cattle farmers. So you'll see a lot of the hide used and horn used. Yes. So you see people when it comes to the traditional wedding, trying to infuse elements of their culture somewhere in a subtle way. Otherwise, though, I think a lot of people then go the rustic route when they go for their traditional wedding. They want to keep it very cultural, so using tones that are neutral and very rustic and wood and natural elements to create the atmosphere for the wedding.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think the last question that I will be asking is, what do you want to see more of in terms of the wedding space, particularly in Uganda, because that is where you host? What would you like to see come to life in terms of all steps? We can talk about all the parties, the bachelorette parties, the dinner parties, the bridal showers, the actual wedding day. What are some of the ideas that you think this isn't really fulfilled within the Ugandan industry?
Well,
that's a good question.
That is. So one event which we haven't really been seeing much of in Uganda is the rehearsal dinner, and it's a really functional event, and it doesn't even have to be that big. So a rehearsal dinner can literally just be the day before the wedding. It could be a small dinner for the bridal squad and the groomsmen, and it's a really key event because it helps unify the groom side and the bride side, and just get them familiar with each other so there's no awkwardness on the actual day. But then also it's a good time for them to just kind of go over the program for the day. And
in a relaxed way.
And it also kind of helps you keep tabs on where everyone is, so no one is turning up the night before the wedding and then showing up to church.
Bridesmaids booking groomsmen.
So it's a really functional event, which hasn't been happening a lot lately, but which we would really like to see take place.
And also the hen night. We'd like to see more hen nights, because here, just in the interest of gender balance, men get a kasiki, and usually on that day, the bride is at home alone. Her friends even attend her husband's, stag do, and she's just chilling. So it's a good thing for a bride to not only have her very proper bridal shower, but have a little cheeky, naughty, fun last day as a bachelorette. So we'd love to see more of that. And then you can get creative with it. You can make it so fun. We've done some where it's a karaoke bachelorette night, But you've even gotten in, the Sengai here is a thing, but you could get in a different kind of Sengai to talk you through things. So I think there's a lot you can do, and we'd love to see more of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty.
Maybe in terms of also the decor aspect, I think we tend to use a lot of flowers here in Uganda. So you see like centerpieces are usually flowers. We are trying to venture away from that. Not entirely. We still do use flowers, but we try to use other materials like plants and DIY. We see what, where is your event? What are the, unique
elements around,
and then we try to incorporate that. We always sit down with the bride and, kind of just ask them a few questions, nothing to do with direct setup, but we understand, what do you like? Do you like animals? If you like elephants, we'll try to incorporate that into your decor. If you like, whatever you like, we try to bring your taste and your character to your
while
event.
still making it niche to you. I think that's always good. If you can leave your event knowing it was yours and it was truly just yours and it hasn't been done before, I think that's always sweet. And you will get someone who will see it and then want that done. Yeah. And then again, we'll come in and show you how you can make it even unique for yourself. Yeah.
Wow. I'm so impressed. There's so much planning that goes into weddings. I mean, all we get to see is I do ring in hand. You know what I mean? But for the fact that there are people such as yourselves that can really put together the event, its entirety is beautiful. And shout outs to you guys.
Thank you.
Another company called Before and Beyond the I Do's.
Yeah, so it's called Custom Made, but our slogan is Before and Beyond the I Do's. Yes. And so Custom Made is what does the trinkets and different custom items, your robes, your bedroom slippers, just something a memento for you to take away, and also something to add a unique touch to your event.
Yeah, and the groomsmen are also, we do cater to them as well.
Yeah,
hip flasks, little cravats, something personalized. Yeah.
What's the strangest personalized item that you've seen? Where you're just like, oh, okay.
Actually, I think a garter, and which is something weird. It's not really in the tradition here, right? That whole element that's in the West, that a lady's garter is taken off by her husband at the it never happens. I think parents would probably collapse. So we won't do that to them. But I think a personalized garter is the strangest thing I've seen. Yeah. But it's nice because we've even seen, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. People have gotten creative with that and have the something blue be old or borrowed and custom. So
Wow. Well, I can't wait to plan my wedding. Hopefully you'll be a part of it.
We will be ready to help you out.
Looking forward to it.
I think we should just find the man first.
We can help you with that
too.
360 event.
Thank you so much for your time. This conversation has been absolutely amazing, and I think company. Please do grow and make the money. Call me.
Oh, we'll call you. We'll call you, and we'll also keep a lookout for some lads.
Yeah, we'll have a package that includes that.
Just matchmake, maybe dinners. I don't know. It works.
It's been absolutely pleasant speaking to you, and we're really excited to be here.
Yeah, and we're so thrilled to be part of the East Africa Wedding Show. This has been so cool for even the first virtual one. We've thoroughly enjoyed even just participating the past few days.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. I think we should take it back to the host, who's going to be continuing with the conversations. But as for me and Little Miss Hannah, it's been absolutely amazing. Please do enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.